Going back to the first video, storing SQL queries, SQL code, anything is the same thing as storing any other application code when it comes to DevOps for databases. So let's go ahead and learn how to do that. I'm in my DevOps for database repository opened up in VS Code. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new directory called SQL query. Okay, I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to say create users.sql. Okay, and as we can see here, VS Code is noticing this as a SQL query. So now let's start creating our SQL query. First, we want to create a new database to store our users. So I'm going to type create database cloud skills, right, semicolon afterwards. Then I'm going to ensure that I'm using the database. So I'm going to type use cloud skills. Okay. Now at this point, I can start to create my table for my users. So I'm going to say create table users. Then I'm going to type in the type of data that I want in my table. So I'm going to say I want an ID. It's going to be an integer. I'm going to say first name. And then I'm going to say last name. Okay, so at this point, we now have our table that we're going to create with the different types of data that we want. So we want an ID, first name, and a last name. And then I'm going to ensure that I'm inserting some data in when I run the SQL query. So I'm going to say insert into users for the table. And then I'm going to say ID, first name, last name. Okay, and then the values are going to be maybe ID1, Mike, Levan. Now for everybody that is, a DBA already, I totally understand this is a very, very basic query here. I'm even, just passing in a username, rather my first name and my last name. I totally get it. However, I do want to ensure that this is the same thing for any query that you have. If you have a really long query that you want to run on a SQL database that's, 50, 100 lines, whatever, you absolutely can. Same concept here. Okay, so now at this point, I can now commit my configuration or my SQL query. And I'll go ahead and I'll use VS Code for my commit. So I'm going to click on source control here, click the checkbox, click yes. I'm going to type a commit message, create a database, table, and user. Go ahead, I'm going to hit enter there. And then finally, I'm going to click push. So now what this is going to do is this is going to push my code up to GitHub. Okay, and that has worked successfully. So now let's just head over to GitHub really quick and check out that code. Okay, and as we can see, I'm at GitHub here. I'm at my DevOps for database repository. And as you can see, 26 seconds ago, the SQL query directory got added. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click that. I'm going to click the file. And as we can see, here's our code ready to be pushed out via CI/CD.